Hello, my beautiful souls. Let's start off this daily reading with some Prism Oracle. I did do some pre-shuffling already, excuse me. But to begin for my beautiful souls, what is the energy all about? Coming out, we have reflection as well as, I believe that's isolation, and then strength. Let's go with those. And so I feel like it's a day right off the bat where, you're keeping to yourself. There's something about this collective, intuitively picking up on the fact that you're meant to be looking within. You're meant to maybe go through some healing. And there's a sense of preparation that Spirit's helping you initiate and maybe even, further and continue in order to be best ready for what feels like a new beginning of importance. But either way, it could be, the continuance of what you're committed to at this time and moving forward, but it's to be labeled as a new chapter for you. And so I do feel like it's a day where you're going through certain levels of reflecting, and it's feeling like this is important, part of that process, like we were saying, where you're needing to look within and, achieve what is needing to be achieved the most for you individually. But then there's something about you, vocalizing what you're meant to, while then naturally balancing that out with, keeping in your own lane and naturally biting your tongue or just keeping quiet. And so I feel it's a day where you could get all caught up in your own head where spirits are pushing you to reflect and to, remember a lot. But then, all the meanwhile, it just feels like you more so want to look forward, but then you get caught up in the past. It's only human to do at times. But I do feel this is a time where they're saying zoom on out. If you look at this imagery here, it's quite literally a simple white dot in the middle as the light was covering it. But basically that was giving me the vision and the image of, somebody zooming out and taking on that, further out perspective to the point where it helps you not only once again get ready, but to see things at hand, currently for you in an appropriate, proper light, okay? Because it feels like maybe you've been too realistic, too honest in regards to what isn't working for you, or maybe certain imperfections. But then some of you need to recognize that, you need to buckle down and make sure that you have the means to invest in that new place to live or that new car if, what you have at hand just isn't cutting it, or at least in the long run, or maybe you're lacking that commitment to that situation altogether. But then on the right-hand side, as you can see, we have strength. And so it's a day period where you need to remember that you have the strength and ability to conquer all right? You've been through worse. You are not going to go through worse moving forward. And so it just kind of gives you that strength kind of energy that I feel each of us need the most at this time, kind of pushing us in the right direction while remembering or realizing in a new light that it's uphill from here, and it's up to you to view that. I'm getting whether it's to view it as a hike, right, a struggle, a draining travel up that hill, that mountain, however you want to view it, or you could view it as it just being a light and fluffy, I'm hearing positive escalating and elevating, and things just smoothly grow and head in, a better direction. And so they're saying, let's remember that your viewpoint, your perspective makes the world of a difference. I do apologize as I struggled a bit there. Anyways, let's pull some tarot for my beautiful souls to continue. I'm hearing where it's random, it's not. Where it's random, it's not. And there's something significant in regards to a ring, or it could be a necklace for some of you that you're choosing to wear. But yeah, again, what feels to be random is quite spiritually connected and very, very purposeful. And I wouldn't be surprised if being within this collective, it's another day where there's a lot of synchronicities, a lot of angel numbers, random symbols, specific words being pointed out to you like elite, as well as the specific word energy. And I'm getting the word oracle for some of you. But two kings on the board. We have the King of Cups and the King of Swords, but they want to pair these two together. And so it's a day where you're basically thinking about what you have yet to achieve, where you've yet to go, where you've yet to end up, And it's spirit saying, it's this lack mindset that's going to leave you feeling a little bit caught up in your emotions or feeling like you're in a bit of a funk, right? And this could be energy that speaks upon your very recent past before watching this reading. But regardless, they're saying try to channel your focus, your perspective on the abundance that is upcoming, but also on the abundance that you already have within your reality, okay? And I'm hearing check yourself if you feel a little bit emotional, because I'm getting with this compassion card over here. You might find it's a day where your compassion leaves you caring a bit too much or just getting caught up in maybe someone else's emotions or a collective's emotions, but it definitely could be your own. But then again, like we had said, the King of Swords over here with the Knight of Swords. And so they're saying, okay, there's a lot of knowledge in the wind. And so while there's also a lot of change and development within the wind, it feels like Spirit's saying you have what it takes, moving forward. You'll gain what you need to in order to make the changes that are needed the most, maybe that you want the most, but you'll also be gaining the knowledge that you need in order to make the best until the better, all right? But it does feel like there's knowledge and experiences being utilized for you individually throughout this day in order to better conquer, is what I'm hearing, to better navigate, to get ahead, to make sure that you are prepared. And so that may be playing into why you're sort of keeping to yourself, maybe not in this wanting to mess around kind of an energy, but they're saying maybe that's what you need to do a little bit, not be lazy or procrastinate, but, find yourself in this state of motivating yourself, but enjoying yourself a bit more, fooling around in the midst of doing what feels to be too uptight, too serious, an important, all the meanwhile obligation of yours, whether it's a job, running your business, connecting with somebody, have fun with it, be a little bit immature, a little bit goofy, crack a joke, a smile, a laugh, you know what I mean? Get the energy shaken up to the point of better results, okay? But I feel like you're also going to be contemplating a lot throughout this day period, even surrounding it, to the point of maybe changing your mind about this and that of importance, where maybe you didn't think there was ever going to be any shifting of your mindset, right? It's like I had my mind made up, but they're saying things change. You've changed, your external reality's changed, and will more so moving forward. Naturally, that's life. And so needing to be flexible in regards to what you've kind of concretely, I'm hearing, aimed your mind towards. Anyways, let's pull a couple more. The Ace of Cups wants to come out because it does feel like there's a sense of abundance more than ever flowing into your reality. And it feels like, going back to the Two of Wands and the King of Cups, there's this potential that you could feel in your own lane at certain points that this is just not enough, right? But then they're saying it all adds up, and it's what you do with it moving forward, right? You can gain a specific amount of money that doesn't feel like everything you need or want for this and that of importance moving forward. But if you spend it all quite immediately, like some of us do sometimes, then that's that, it leaves your life just as quickly. And so they're just reminding you that what abundance is coming in throughout this day, where you do feel a bit of an overflow or a waterfall coming in, be smart about it, right? Think about what you're wanting for the future. Think about maybe what you've been lacking in a simplistic manner, to the point where you then do better with the managing the utilization of whatever form of abundance, if not multiple, that you're receiving at this time. But as well, the Three of Pentacles over here, because I sense it's a day where you're meant to be noticed, right? For being the King of Swords all the meanwhile, who's putting in the work, for the most part. But you're being noticed for your strength and ability, maybe even your talent all the meanwhile. And it feels like this is a time for you to be thinking about where the wheel has been churning in your individual favor, and even, where you'd like to see and manifest more of that wheel churning in your individual, in your world's favor. But as we get a bit wordy with this reading, I kind of feel like we got what we needed to out of it. So we'll leave it at that. I hope it was truly helpful. I am, as always, sending you a ton of love and light. Take care.